Hey everyone, and welcome to this end of year bookish video. I'm Laura123 and I hope you enjoy watching. If you do, please click like, comment, share and please subscribe to my channel. That would be awesome. And don't forget to smash the notification bell to all notifications. Then you can see when I'm doing live streams and also when I've uploaded new videos. So it is the end of the year and I've had quite a good year with reading. So I did complete my Goodreads challenge, which I'm really happy about. So I did read a total of 200 books this year. So yeah, I'm very happy. I honestly, it was coming towards the end and I was like, oh, I don't think I'm going to hit my target. But I did. So yay to me. But yeah, most of the books I read this year I've enjoyed. There've been some books that I've not particularly enjoyed as well, but we'll not think about those. Let's think of the positive. There's been some really good reads. You know, I've had 4 stars, lots of 5 stars as well. So yeah, it's been a good, reading year for me in general. In this video, I've got some new books here. So I'm going to be doing a bit of a book haul for you. Maybe, giving you some ideas for books that you want to read yourself. Also, I have my list. Yes, it's a very important list. It is the top 10 books of the year, which I tell you what, it was really difficult to make that list because, as I say, I've read a lot of good books this year, but I think I've done it. I think I'm happy with my final 10 and the order I've put them in. I have changed this a few times here and there, but I think I'm going to stick with this list because, I've just got to do it. But yeah, they're all really good books. If they are in the top 10, then I've really enjoyed them, so it's all good. Also, I have a list here of some of my pre-orders that I've got for books that are coming out next year. There's a lot already. So yeah, and actually before I get into this, I really want to show you this awesome gift that my lovely fiance Nathan got me. It is a reading log. How cool is this? It's so nice. It says on the back, reading is to the mind what exercise is to the body. That's a good quote. But yeah, it's really cool. It's going to really help me with my book reviews and keeping track of what I've read and stuff. Obviously, I use Goodreads. I love the Goodreads app. But I also wanted something where I could actually just kind of sit and write my notes down and stuff. And it's really cool. It gives you can rate characters, the ease of reading, the plot, everything. And obviously your review, what genre the book is, author, title, blah, 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 all that information. So yeah, I think it's really cool. I'm really happy with it. And I just love the aesthetic look of it as well, the old-fashioned books and stuff. So yay! Looking forward to use that this year. So, should we get started? Please let me know in the comments section what you're currently reading. Let me know if there's any books coming out soon that you're mega excited for. What was your favourite book of the year? What was your least favourite book of the year? Anything. I love reading your comments, so please get in touch. Okay, so we're going to start off with the book haul. Now, I'm going to not kind of go on about every single book because otherwise this video will be super long and you'll just get really bored. So I'm just going to kind of, maybe some of the backs of the books I read, some of them I'll just kind of give a quick description about them, okay? So the first book I want to start with, I'm not going to read about because I can't read about. Sounds a bit mysterious, doesn't it? So this book here is by Marissa Meyer and it's called Cursed. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I know they say you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, but look at that cover. It's so stunning. And also the sprayed edges as well. This is the Waterstones exclusive edition and I just fell in love with this cover. I'm not just saying it, I really did. But obviously when I looked it up, I realised it was number 2. So it's a sequel. There's a duology. I think the first one's called Gilded, if I remember rightly. I've ordered that from the library, so hopefully that should be here in the next week or so. But I just wanted to get this before it sold out. There weren't that many copies left, so I grabbed a copy. Cursed for Eternity, Bound by Love. I think it's like a reimagining, retelling of Rumpelstiltskin, maybe. But yeah, as I said, I don't want to read anything about this, but I have it. It is mine now, in my possession. It's absolutely beautiful, and I do like a nice kind of retelling, reimagining if it's done well. So yeah, hopefully I like that. Let me know if you've read Gilded, if it's any good or not. As I say, got that in order from the library. So once I've read that one, I'll go straight into number 2. Okie dokie, so I got some books today from Waterstones. I got some Christmas money, yay, and vouchers and stuff for Waterstones. So I went in there and treated myself basically. And they're doing the normal buy one, get one half price sale, which is great. So you do pick up some good bargains. And of course, every time I buy books in Waterstones, I use my little points card. And then when you get the 10 stamps, you get like £10 off your next book. So it's all good. I like that. So the first one I picked up, I've not heard of. And I am, a bit of a bookworm. All right, a lot of a bookworm. I normally know what books are going to be coming out and I'm, you know, in the loop, but I've not seen this promoted or talked about anywhere. I was drawn to the cover and I think it's gorgeous, even though this annoys me, which, you know, you can peel off, but sometimes it ruins the book. Let's see if this one, hold on. Sometimes they come off easier than others. Oh, there we go. It's ruined it a little bit, but not too bad. I can pick that off. But anyhow, so this is by Abidar Jagaradar. I hope I said that name properly. I'm terrible at pronunciations. So I have read The Henna Wars and I have read Hanny and Istu's A Guide to Fake Dating. So I'm looking forward to read this one. But it's called 1,000,000 and it says 4 girls, 1 daring heist. What are their chances? And I just think it sounds really interesting. Hold on, I need my glasses. I'm like, why does thing look a bit, you know, blurry, not so clear? It's because I haven't got my glasses on. I'm stupid. There we go. You know I mean business when the glass is gone. There we go. That's nice and clear. Right, so it says, Josepha is an unapologetic and charismatic thief, has her eye on her biggest target yet, the Titanic, and she's out to steal the ultimate prize, the Rabiat, I think that is, Rabiat, a one-of-a-kind book worth millions. All she needs is the perfect team. Then we have Hinna, a fearless acrobat and contortionist, and then we have Violet, an exceptional actress, and Emil, who's an artist who can replicate any drawing. But careless mistakes, old grudges, and new romances threaten to jeopardise everything they've worked for, and then tragedy strikes. What are their chances of success? 1,000,000 to 1. I've just not seen this anywhere, and it sounds super cool, looks cool. I love books that are set on the Titanic as well, so that's like me, all booked in for that one. The next one I've got, I have heard about. This is supposed to be really, really funny. It's by Sophie Gonzalez, and it's called Never Ever Getting Back Together. Wasn't that a song? Was it Taylor Swift, maybe? I don't know. This just sounds so, so funny, and it says, revenge is a dish best served on live TV. So I have read, what did I read? I haven't read Only Mostly Devastated, but I have got that on my bookcase. But I have read Perfect on Paper. That was pretty funny. I like that one. So yeah, it says 18-year-old Maya's cheating ex Geordie is famous now. His sister married a prince, and Maya is sick of seeing his face everywhere. So she agrees to participate in a teen reality dating show in which Geordie re-dates his ex-girlfriends to get revenge by rejecting him in front of the nation. Her fellow contestants include Sky, the girl Geordie cheated on her with. But as Maya navigates the show's challenges, she and Sky become surprisingly close. Spending time with Jodie and Sky leaves Maya feeling torn. Is Geordie a good guy who made a mistake? Or is there more than friendship between her and Sky? As the season finale approaches, can Maya execute her plan, or will she go off script? Now, I love like dating shows and like, you know, like romance and dating shows, reality shows and stuff. So I think this is going to be really, really good fun. And as I say, I have read it before and I liked her writing style, so it's all good. I can see my hives are coming up instantly. I've got my new camera light on, which is really, really good. As you can see, it's really clear. It's made the room so much more brighter because it was proper like dark and dingy in here before the light went on. But look, the blooming hives are coming up. And we've pushed the light back as far as it can go and it's still affecting me. Anyway, so I'm going to try and very subtly, maybe not so subtly, cover it up. Maybe I need to wear a scarf or something. I don't know. But anyhow, so yeah, that's that one. The next book I got also was the, what's this called? The Agency for Scandal by Laura Wood. I absolutely love Laura Wood books, and this has been on my radar. So the fact that I picked it up today is very exciting. It doesn't actually come out till January. Apparently it was put out earlier, so won't say anything. I'm happy to have got it. Now, I've read quite a few of her books, and the way she writes is so good. It kind of reminds me of Eva Ibbotson books, the way she used to write and stuff. This one sounds quite different than other books I've read from it. It's kind of like, I don't know, young Agatha Christie kind of vibes. I'm getting like a cozy mystery. So yeah, I'm interested to see how Laura Wood will do this one, because normally they're quite kind of, I don't know, romancy kind of books, but this is more of you know, a cozy mystery thing. So I think it's probably going to be a bit of romance in it as well. So yeah, I love that cover as well. Absolutely lovely. Right, next one. Now, very happy about this one. This is The Mysterious Case of the Alperton Angels by Janice Hallett. Now, this is a proof copy, And I was very lucky to have got this because I only got it for £2.50. I found it in a charity shop a few weeks ago before Christmas. And I was like, yes, it's a result. Because I'd already pre-ordered this on Waterstones. And I think it was like, I don't know, 15 quid or whatever. And I was like, oh, this is £2.50. So I quickly went online, obviously, and cancelled that order. Because this is going to, you know, save me some money. But yeah, it's the proof copy of it. So yeah, this is the new like thriller by Janice Hallett. Now, I've got to be honest, I've read a couple of her other books and I've really not enjoyed them, which is a bit like, well, why have I got this one? But I really love the sound of this one. And I do like the way she writes in a very different, unique style. So if I show you, a lot of this is like email format and scripts and stuff. Like, oh, just the way she writes is just so different. And also it is signed by the author. So I was really lucky to have found this in a charity shop. But it just sounds really intriguing. It says, open the safe deposit box. Inside, you'll find research material for a true crime book on the doomed Alperton Angels cult. You must read the documents, then make a decision. Will you destroy them or will you take them to the police? The choice is yours. So, yeah, I just, honestly, I'm going to give her one more go because I really like the sound of this. And as I say, I like the way it's uniquely told. So we're going to see. And if I don't like it, I think it will be the time for me to be like, look, me and Janice Hallett books are we're just not connected. But hopefully we'll like it because it sounds really, really cool. Right, next book I got. This has to be one of the most beautiful books I've seen. I mean, this is nice, but wait till you see under the cover. That's what I'm talking about. This is by Lee Bardugo, I can never say her name. And it is Demon in the Wood. It's also by Danny Pendergast as well. But yeah, look at that. It's so pretty. Like the purple and the silver. Just, oh, stunning. So this is set in the Grishaverse and it is a graphic novel. I'm not like a massive graphic novel fan. They have to be a real kind of special graphic novel for me to kind of purchase them. And if I like it, I'm going to get it. And I love, you know, all the books set in the Grishaverse. And this is the Darkling's origin story. So it's kind of like a prequel to the whole kind of Shadow and Bone thing. And yeah, I'm really excited about this. And the artwork just looks so cool. Like it looks really, really good artwork and stuff. And it'll be interesting to kind of get the backstory. And it's just beautiful, being honest. So there we go. That is that one. Okay, so these two here are books that I found in a local bookshop. It's like a little kind of local, you know, or is it Books on Sea or something? And I'll be honest with you, to be fair, like normally when I get secondhand books, they're from charity shops or library sales and things or whatever. But these are in this little shop and yes, they're secondhand, but they were a £5 each, which I did think was a little bit costly. However, they are very special limited edition books. And also, I remember when these come out and I just could not find them anywhere. Could not find them for love nor money. So I think it is a duology. So there's only the two, obviously. So I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to get them. It was before Christmas. I was out and about and I was just like, here you go, shop, have my £10. But yeah, The Crown's Fate and The Crown's Game. I can't remember what one's first, but they're fantasy, magic. Says magic is growing, shadows are rising, and the throne is at stake. So yeah, as I say, they are very special editions. And if I show you under the cover, they are hardcover as well. This is their first edition. Oh, they put a little bookmark in for me as well. I'm sure they were either first edition or special. Anyway, but yeah, I wouldn't normally pay that. And to be fair, that bookshop was very expensive in general for secondhand books. But they did have some rare books that are kind of harder to find. So yeah, I'm going to enjoy these, I think. I hope. Love the covers. Okie dokie. So next book I've got is from the library. Now, I'm kind of contemplating reading this or not because it does seem a little bit young for me. I think it's one of those nights where I was just looking on the library website of what new books they had in. I saw this cute cover and I was like, yeah, that's cool. I'll order that. It's free. And then it turned up and I was like, oh, this might be a bit too young. I have found, like in the last year actually, that I've kind of really changed with middle grade books. I used to read loads of middle grade books and now I just find them, I know this is going to sound obvious, right, but I find them a little bit too young, which I know they always were kind of thing like in the last few years, but my mind seemed to kind of connect with that, but not so much now. I find it all just gets a little bit too, so it's got to be a really, like either a really good author that I love their books or a special story that just sounds really interesting for a middle grade for me to get. But This is called Hazel Hill is going to win this one, and it's by Maggie Horn. Loving the kind of lilac-y sprayed edges. So it says, Hazel's plans for the year is simply to win the speech contest and finally beat her nemesis, Ella Quinn. That is, if Tyler Harris can go 2 minutes without interrupting her with some silly secret that she doesn't care about. But then when students in Hazel's school start receiving hurtful and cruel anonymous messages, her priorities change. Can Hazel take down the culprit, and will anyone ever believe her? After all, she's just a girl. So it sounds like it's going to be, you know, a bit of a kind of feminist girl. She sounds like a really cool character and stuff. So I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I'll give it a go. Maybe not. Maybe I'll just go back to the library. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Right. So the next book I want to show you, it's got its own little pouch. It's got its own little reading pouch. How cool is that? So this is the Illumicrate pouch. Now, this book here, I'll be honest with you, I have really bad trouble pronouncing names of this. Like, I was trying to, like, I did an Illumicrate unboxing video, right? That video is on there if you want to watch it. I love opening that box. And I'll be doing an Illumicrate unboxing every month on my channel, so stay tuned for those. But, yeah, I had real kind of trouble pronouncing, like, the names and certain words. I don't know what it was. So I'm not going to do it again and embarrass myself. But, yeah, this is kind of a genre that I don't tend to read normally. It's sci-fi, kind of fantasy sci-fi. But I have to say, it does sound really interesting and different. So, yeah, it's about, like, pirates and stuff, space pirates, and there's an arranged marriage and, you know, wars between the different fleets and stuff. I don't know. Like, it's a bit out of my comfort zone, but I'm going to give it a go. And look at this cover. So pretty. And look at the ombre sprayed edges. You've got the blue and the purple. So I'm going to give it a go and just carry on with it and see, you know, do I enjoy it? Do I not? But yeah, I love the fact with Illumicrate, you do get these special edition books. They're normally signed, normally sprayed edges, that kind of thing. So that is that one. Oh, I'll put that over here. Right, so this book here is a new book, but I finished it last night. I couldn't wait. I literally put it in front of all my other books that I've got to read because I was so excited to get this. And it's Maureen Johnson's 9 Liars. So the trilogy was the Truly Devious trilogy. So you had Truly Devious, Vanishing Stare, and The Hand in the Wall, I think that is. Yeah, in all. Now, I never read those 3, right? But I did read The Box in the Woods because, cut long story short, I remember seeing The Box in the Woods on Waterstones' website thinking, oh, you know, that sounds a really good book. Buying it, reading it, loving it, and then realising that it was actually part of a series. And I don't know, maybe at some point I will read these 3, but like I think it's kind of, I've kind of got spoilers now as to what happens. So I'm like, man, maybe not. But this is the next one in the series, and I just kind of pushed it in front of all my other books, which, you know, orange underneath, the dust jacket. I really, really love this book. It was so good. I could not put it down. I didn't go to bed last night till about 2 in the morning. Luckily, we're off work for Christmas holidays and stuff. But honestly, if you like your cozy mysteries, even if you've not read any of these in the series, I really recommend this. It's so good. The ending, I won't give any spoilers, but the ending was the only thing that kind of bugged me a little bit. There's something that happened at the end. But apparently she does always leave her books with a kind of cliffhanger vibe. So maybe, you know, that's obviously a common thing. But honestly, it's so good. It was such a good mystery, so cozy, lots of characters. Part of it is set in the 90s, which I really enjoyed. 7 suspects, 2 murders. Sorry, 7 suspects, 2 murders, 1 killer, still playing a deadly game. So, it's just brilliant. I give it a 5-star on Goodreads as well. So, if you like your cozy mysteries, check it out. Right, next one I want to show you. How cool is this? This is Cryptid Club by Sarah Anderson. I'm showing this in this video, even though I've already read this. I got it like the week before Christmas, but I just, you know, it's technically a new book. You've not seen it on the channel, so I thought I'd include it. So this was so cool, and the cover glows in the dark, which, you know, it's also pretty cool. Now, Sarah Anderson done Sarah Scribbles, which I've read a few of those, and also Fangs, which honestly, both of those like graphic novel series and that Fangs was a standalone, was so funny. And it's the way that she does her art, like, I don't know, it's just so simple and so quick, but it's really funny. And this book here is basically about these bunch of, like, random misfit cryptids. It's just, I don't know, like, maybe it just appeals to my sense of humour, I don't know. But I just really, really enjoyed this book, and you know, I mean, they've got all the different ones. They've got Slender Man, they've got the Kraken, they've got Bigfoot, ghosts, you know, there's just some really funny little bits. It's kind of like, I don't know, little mini comic strips, I suppose, but it all kind of comes together in a story. But it's great. It says here at the back, do you hate social gatherings? Do you dodge cameras? Enjoy staying up just a little bit too late at night? You might have more in common with your local cryptid than you think. So yeah, you got Mothman, Loch Ness Monster, etc. So yeah, it's really, really funny. And yeah, it does glow in the dark. And it works because we tested it. So that's that one. So I've got a few more books to show you, and then I'll do my books of the year. Right, so we're going to go with this one here. This is by Silvia Moreno Garcia. I love saying her name. I might just say it again. Silvia Moreno Garcia. There we go. I absolutely love this author. She is amazing. She has to be now, I think, one of my favourite authors. I love the way she writes. Her characters are always so special and just beautiful, and you just want to know everything about them and feel what they're going through. And I don't know, I just love her book so much. Look at the green sprayed edges on here, and that cover is just so pretty. So yeah, this is her latest, I think. It's about is it hybrids? Is that how you say it? I'm probably looking stupid. Hybrids. Yeah, so once again, it's set in Mexico, and I think most of her books that I've read are kind of set in Mexico. Different time periods, but they're in Mexico. And it's normally the main character is a young woman, which it is in this one. But yeah, I think it says here she grows up on a distant and luxury estate. And there's hybrids. She assists this doctor who does all these scientific experiments and stuff. A motley group of part human, part animal monstrosities. If you were to ask me, would I pick this book up if it was any other author, I'd be like, not really my thing. But it is by, once again, Silvia Moreno Garcia. So I have to get it, and I will maybe enjoy it. And you know what? Sometimes I do like challenging myself with different types of books that I wouldn't normally read. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not so good. So that's that. This one here apparently is a TikTok sensation, booktok. Hashtag booktok, not bushtok. Anyway, booktok. And yeah, this is called A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime by Monica Murphy. And I just seen this, as I say, all over BookTok. People are raving about it, also on Instagram. And I love that cover of all the kisses. There was a YouTuber I watched the other day. I can't remember her name, I'm sorry, but she's a booktuber, and she'd mentioned this book, and she said it was so good. She just wants to reread it and reread it and reread it. So I was like, oh, okay. So it says it started with a kiss. I think Ren is beautiful and kind. She always gets good grades, loved by everyone at Lancaster Prep. Everyone but brooding campus bad boy, Crew Lancaster. Crew is rich and handsome. His life is meant to be easy, but when you have an overbearing father and your family own the school, the pressure to be the best makes life harder than everyone thinks. And he certainly doesn't have time for innocent girls who only care about their classes. Girls like Ren Beaumont. But when unexpected chemistry disrupts psychology class, Ren discovers there's more to life than good grades, and Crew finally understands what it's like to be in love. So it's supposed to be steamy and romantic and totally addictive. Maybe a bit of enemies to lovers there as well. I don't know. But look, I'm going to go with it, see if all the hype's worth it. Okay, so I have 2 more books to show you, which are these 2 here. And then we'll do the top 10 of the year. There we go. So we're going to start off with the Book Eaters by Sunny Dean. This book has literally made me like, and ah, as I say, for so long. Like, since it come out, I was like, should I get it? Should I not? I was drawn to that cover when I first ever saw it, and I was like, wow, you know, it just sounds cool. And the title as well of the Book Eaters. And of course, there's the quote from V.E. Schwab, who's one of my favourite authors. And I don't know, and then I kind of read about it, and I was like, I don't know if it's my cup of tea, so I didn't get it. But then I'd keep seeing it in shops and thinking, should I get... Anyway, cut a long story short, I found out that in the next Illumicrate box, there's going to be, like next month, there's going to be a Book Eaters item. I think it's a bag, possibly. And I was like, oh, this is fate. It's fate. I've got to get it. So anyway, I got it. And it's the Book Eaters by Sunny Dean, as I say. So it's a bit weird, but I suppose weird is good. Hidden across England and Scotland live 6 old book eater families. The last of their lines, they exist on the fringes of society and subsist on a diet of stories and legends. Children are rare, and their numbers have dwindled. So when Devon Fairweather's second child is born, a dreaded mind-eater, a perversion of her own kind who consumes not stories, but the minds and the souls of humans, she flees before he can be turned into a weapon for the family or worse. Living among humans and finding prey for her son, Devon seeks a cure for his hunger, but time is running out, and for her family want her back, and with every soul her son consumes, he loses a little more of himself. I don't know. It says here that it's, this is it. I love this. It says for readers looking for something strange and thrilling. Well, you know, I love thrilling and I'm definitely strange. So boom, that should be for me. We'll see. I'm kind of nervous about it, but excited at the same time. All right. So the last book I have to show you is The People Before by Charlotte Northedge. And I was actually told today in Waterstones, where I got this from, that this author is from Leigh-on-Sea, which is quite local to where I am, so that's pretty cool. She has done another book here. It said inside, hold on, what was it? The House Guest, which I think I have heard of. So this is called The People Before. I love that cover with the super creepy looking house and all the dark kind of forest in the back. So yeah, it says Jess and her husband need a new start. So when the chance to buy a new, I'll start again. When the chance to buy a rambling old house in the Suffolk countryside comes up, they leap at it. But not everyone in Suffolk is welcoming. The locals know a secret about the Maple House, and soon Jess realises they've made a huge mistake. Something bad happened in the house, something that nobody wants to talk about, something to do with the people before. It just sounds like one of these shows, like me and Nathan, my fiance, we love watching paranormal shows, and it sounds like one of those things where they say, we got our dream house, it was really cheap, and then obviously it's haunted and stuff. I don't know if this is going to be like a paranormal. I mean, I did have a quick look on Goodreads. I don't like giving myself spoilers, but I was like, is this just a thriller or is this going to be creepy? And people were saying it was quite eerie. There were some things that happened that make you jump. And I was like, okay, that's enough. I'm going to go with it. So yeah, I look like it's a kind of creepy haunted house. Maybe something horrible's obviously happened before. And anyway, so I'm up for this. This sounds really good. Whew, so they are my new books. As I say, let me know in the comments section down below what new books you've purchased recently. Maybe you got some new books for Christmas. I don't know. Let me know. Right, so let's do this top 10. This is really difficult. Now, I wish I was one of those booktubers who could, you know, when they mention the book, it appears next to them. I'm no good at editing. I'm sorry. See, I'm just going to read out the name. Maybe one day I will improve and I'll learn how to do editing like that, make my videos look all cool and that. But at the moment, I don't know how to do it. So, this is going to be difficult. All right, so these are the books that I've chosen. And this is the list that I've kind of gone with for my top 10. So, the first one, we're going to go 10 to 1, obviously. Like, I feel like I'm on top of the pops. At number 10. So, number 10, I should have put the authors on here. I'm really sorry. What I'll do down below in the description box, I'll put the names of these books in my top 10, and I'll also put the authors with them if you do want to look them up. Okay, so I should have put that. Sorry, my scruffy handwriting is right. So at number 10 we have Seatmate. Bearing in mind that some of these books I read quite a while ago, so I won't remember everything about it, so I'll just give you a quick little, you know. So, yeah, Seatmate I absolutely loved. It was by far my favourite audiobook I listened to all year, and it was one of the free ones on the Plus catalogue on Audible. I love Audible. I get my book every month and also use their Plus catalogue, and I know a lot of other people talk about different audio things that they listen to, but I'm sorry, for me, Audible is just, you know, the best. I love it. But yeah, Seatmate was so good. It was romantic, it was funny, and it really felt real. Like the two like voice actors were so good. Like the girl and the guy, it just literally felt real. They're on this bus, they don't know each other, they're complete strangers, and they end up on this bus together, sitting next to each other, right near the toilet as well, and they just kind of spark up a friendship and romance happens. And I won't ruin it for you, but it's brilliant and it's so funny. And as I say, these people, they literally become real to me. I would definitely listen to it again in the future because it was brilliant. So yeah, Seatmate. Number 9, we have Real Easy. This was a thriller about well, I was going to say prostitutes. They weren't prostitutes. They were strippers. Well, actually, no, there were some who used to do a little bit extra for the money in the back room, if you know what I'm saying. So yeah, a little bit of prostitution there, but mainly strippers and stuff in this club. And there's murders. There's a girl gone missing, like one of the new dancers goes missing, and It's really interesting book. Like it's quite a dark thriller, but it's just so interesting. And I remember I read it earlier in the year, but I remember really like connecting with the characters and really feeling for them and understanding their story and wanting to, you know more about them. And it was just such a gripping thriller. And the ending was, whew, whew, yeah, really, really good thriller. I loved it, loved it, loved it. Next one was Castles in Their Bones. I thought I put this higher in my list, but anyway, as I say, if these books are in my top 10, they're all good. Castles in Their Bones was by Laura Sebastian. I remember that. So number 2 comes out this year, which I will be getting 100%. It was about this nasty, horrible queen, and she had 3 daughters, and she basically wanted the daughters to go to different lands, marry their princes, I think, and then kind of just like get rid of them and then take over. So, you know, they'd all the women would be in power of all these places, basically. But things don't go to plan, and anyway, it's really, really good. It's an amazing fantasy. And also this year I read her Ash Princess series, which I super duper loved as well. So Laura Sebastian, wow, what an amazing, amazing author. So if you're into your fantasy, YA fantasy, check out Laura Sebastian books. But yeah, Castles in Their Bones was amazing. I really, really love that book. Next up was Verity, and that is by Colleen Hoover. Yes, I think, yeah, Colleen Hoover. Why did I doubt myself then? One of the biggest books ever, and I'm like, was it Colleen Hoover? Yeah, Colleen Hoover's Verity. Just so good. Like, seriously, I just... It was dark, I will give you that. It's a thriller. It was just dark. And a lot of people, actually, I've seen talking about this book in their kind of Books of the Year videos. And it's really good to know that other people enjoyed it as much as I did, because it was just... It was splendid. It was dark and it was haunting, and it was like every end of chapter made me kind of like, you know, cliffhanger. So yeah, really, really good. I mean, obviously there are some awkward, you know, dark things in there of abuse and stuff, but honestly, if you're looking for a really dark, messed up kind of thriller, I really recommend Verity. Next up was The Last House on the Street. I can't remember who wrote that. As I say, I'll link down below all these books and their authors. But that book was so good. It made me cry. It was so emotional. It dealt with racism and so much more. Like, it was such a good book. And it had dual timelines as well, which I really enjoy when there's a bit in the past and a bit current and it all kind of, you know, comes together. But it was really, like, the characters in the story, like, oh my God, you kind of got into their heads and felt what they felt, and just amazing. Absolutely amazing book. And then number 5, Sisters in Arms. That was about these 2 black girls who entered the army, and you know, it was interesting finding out about them as characters, because they were quite different and they come from different backgrounds and stuff and families and situations, but also like how they dealt with racism in the army. And there's also a bit of romance as well, which was nice, and obviously talking about, you know, the war and how they got through the things they went through. Like, it was just so like out of my comfort zone. I don't really read like kind of historical fiction, but those 2 characters, they won me over. I absolutely loved it. It was so intriguing and interesting. At times you felt angry because the way obviously they were treated, but then when nice things happened to them, it's like, oh. So yeah, really love that book. Right, and the next book is actually a rare thing for me to say. It was a non-fiction. I tend to only read fiction, which my dad always moans at me about. It's like, oh, you only read fiction. I like fiction. I like fiction because of the kind of escapism from reality, you know. But I really wanted to read this book because it's by David Bedell, who I really, really like. He's a great comedian and writer and stuff. But this was called Jews Don't Count. I'm Jewish myself, and I really wanted to read this book because there was just, you know, obviously it was about Jewish people and also anti-Semitism, and it was just such, it's a weird book. So I liked it, but I didn't, and that sounds really odd. I didn't like the fact that it was so, like, some of the things that I was reading made me feel really sad, very angry and uncomfortable. But I liked in the fact that it was being spoke about, like these taboo subjects were being spoke about, and David Baddiel done it in such a easy to understand kind of way. It wasn't too kind of heavy, even though it was dealing with heavy subjects like anti-Semitism. It was done in a very kind of, I don't know, serious but light way that you could easily understand kind of thing. And it really just made me feel even more proud, you know, loud and proud to be Jewish, and kind of tell the world I'm Jewish, because you know, anyway, but it was an amazing book. I also recently watched the show, like the TV show they did of like kind of based from the book. Also a really good watch. So yeah, I can't believe I've got a non-fiction in my top 10. And then number 3, I have Twin Crowns. So this book, oh, I love this book so much. It was so good. It was a middle grade. No, was it? No, actually, it was YA. That's okay. I was going to say, yeah, it was YA. And I'd got this book out from the library. And I loved it so much. Halfway through, I was like, I don't want to take this back to the library. I need to keep this book. I need to have this on my bookcase downstairs where I keep all my collections of certain books that I love and series and stuff. And so I went and bought the actual version from Waterstones, and I give the library book back. And I carried on reading like my version that I'd get kept. So yeah, I mean, 2 twins, very different. They didn't know each other, and it's so good. I loved it. The magic, the drama. So number 2 comes out this year. I've pre-ordered it, and I've managed to grab a pre-order, a signed copy as well of it. So I think it's called Cursed Crowns. It's just so good. If you're into fantasy and these 2 sisters, and just like, I loved it. So I would definitely reread that again, actually. I might even do that before I read Cursed Crowns, just to kind of, you know, refresh my mind. But if not, it was just brilliant. So I've got 2 here. Now, I've wrote this in this order, but I think at the last minute I'm going to change it. So indecisive, Laura. All right, so I'm going to put at number 2 a horror, and that is Hidden Pictures by, I can't remember, Jason something. So I actually have really enjoyed reading some horror this year, and next year I definitely want to read more horror, because I've really enjoyed that kind of thrill and being scared and like, ooh, creeped out and stuff. So I'm definitely back onto my horror genre. But yeah, Hidden Pictures was so good. And not only was the story good, about this child who was kind of communicating with this creepy ass figure. I don't want to give any spoilers away, but it was not only the story, but as you were reading the book, there were actual artwork, like pictures that the child was drawing of who they were speaking to from the other side. It was such a creepy book, and I would love if it was to be turned into a film. I think if that was a film, it'd be intense. It'd be very scary. So yeah, I mean, I remember sitting there reading it and just kind of flicking through, and then I was like, whoa, like this artwork really creeped me the hell out, and I loved it. So yeah, Hidden Pictures, amazing. Never read anything like it. I loved it. And so my number 1 book is The Skeleton Key. And I think, if I remember, it's by Erin Kelly. So this book, oh my God, this book was a big chunky one. And I was worried that it would take me like weeks to get through because it was quite big. But, you know, I've done it quite well. I am scared of big books. That sounds really odd. But like they kind of put me off. Like I've got so many books next door that are like this chunky. And I really want to read them. I really do. But I'm just like, oh my God, that's just going to take me like a week or 2 weeks. And I think because I'm quite a fast reader, I have quite a quick flow of getting through my books. And I know that one's going to take me ages. It kind of gets put off, which is really sad and stupid because I do want to read them. And next year, I'm not going to let big books scare me. Maybe. But yeah. So Skeleton Key was based on, I think, is it Forrest Fenn? Who done like these kind of mysteries. Look it up on Google. It's really fascinating and interesting. There was this guy and he done like these picture book mystery kind of clues, and people from all around the world come and look for all these treasures, and it's just really surreal. It's crazy. And people get like proper obsessed with it. So this book was not only kind of cool in that aspect, because it was kind of based on a similar kind of vibe. The author, she actually read all those kind of books, so she had that in her mind that she wanted to do a story that was kind of similar. But it's also the characters, the drama, the secrets that's gone on between these 2 families who are involved in this like treasure book. And then there's the obsessed fans who kind of stalk them as a family, and also kind of, you know, obsessed with finding out the clues. There's murders in this book. There's so much going on, like, and I loved it. I've never read anything like it. It was so good, and honestly, I need to read more from that author because she just blew me away. Like, I was like, wow, this is amazing. So yeah, my favourite book of this year is The Skeleton Key. Let me know in the comments if you read any of those books that I've mentioned, or maybe you've read them and you didn't like them. I don't know. Like, I have been watching a few people recently doing their books of the year, and I'm like, oh my God, I hated that book. I hated that book. And all the books they're saying, I'm like, oh my God, they were like 1 star for me. But I love that because, you know, reading is such a personal thing, and it's a really individual thing. And I think you know, if we all like the same, it'd be really boring, you know. So it's all good. But let me know what your thoughts are. All right, so quickly, let me just tell you some of these pre-orders I've got for next year. Oh, so many more books. Bookworm problems, hashtag. So my pre-orders so far that I've got, The Circus Train. Once again, I should have wrote down the authors, I'm sorry. Circus Train comes out in January. I'm obsessed with all things circus. Also, what I forgot to put on this list is the new Richard Osman book. So that's the Thursday Murder Club. I think it's book 4. Is it 4? Yeah, I've read the others and I absolutely love them. So that comes out, I think it's like September time next year. I always read that series. Then we've got Gothicana, which I hope I'm pronouncing properly. That is one of the kind of booktok sensations as well. The cover is gorgeous. It's all like purple and gothic-y, and I have been swept up with that hype, I think. But it does sound really good. Whispering Muse, I think it's Laura Purcell. Love her books. I've got the new one from Silvia Moreno Garcia, which is Untamed Shore. Apparently that was bought out a good few years ago, but now obviously her books have become bigger. They've kind of done a reprint of it, made the cover look different, and kind of republishing it and stuff. So that's not a fantasy. I think that's more of a kind of thriller. There's his murders and kind of, yeah, I don't know. I don't really know. It's her, so I just ordered it because it was that kind of go-to author. Obviously, the book that I'm the most excited for coming out this year is Chain of Thorns by the amazing Cassandra Clare. I, without a doubt, love the Mortal Instruments series with all my heart. Like, it's my favourite book series ever. I've read every single book in the series. I love the whole world. I love the characters, and I'm really excited for Chain of Thorns. I think it's January. I think it's like the end of January, and you won't talk to me. Like, if Nathan tries to talk to me when I'm reading that, I'm like, no, go away. I will not get my head out of that book for like 3 days, because they're normally quite big chunky ones as well. Also, I've got the excuse me, How to Sell a Haunted House book by the lovely Grady Hendrix. Oh, Grady Hendrix books are such a ride. Like, they're such a trip. Like, they're so weird and fun and kind of creepy. But yeah, this one is, you know, supposed to be really good about this haunted house, and this couple, I think, have got it, and it's creepy, and they're trying to sell it, and yeah, no one probably wants to buy it because it's haunted. So, like, kind of fun, ghosty kind of vibe book. I've got TJ Klune's The Lives of Puppets. Now, I've not been very lucky with TJ Klune books in the past, so I was a bit but this one sounds so cute and cool, and it's interesting. It's a mix between Wally, do you remember Wally? Don't know what that was, and Pinocchio. So I'm like, oh, it just sounds so cute. I've got the new Cassandra Clare's first adult fantasy comes out this year. I've got on pre-order, Swordcatcher. Cursed Crowns, obviously, which is the Twin Crowns sequel. Yeah. Oh yes, Hellbent, which is Lee Bardugo, which is Ninth House, isn't it? Ninth House sequel. I love Ninth House. It was so good. I was so upset when I finished it, because I was like, oh no, it's over. And we've had to wait like 2 years or something for this book. So Hellbent better be good. And then I was very lucky because ages ago I managed to order Tom Hanks' book. He's got a fiction book coming out called The Making of Another Major Motion Picture Masterpiece. It's a bit of a mouthful, isn't it? But yeah, I managed to get a signed copy of that. So that is going to go on eBay once I've read it, and hopefully get me a bit of cash. But yeah, they were like limited to one person, and I think when I looked last time, they'd all gone. All the signed copies had gone, so I was like, ha ha ha, got in there quick. Anyhow, so that is what I tend to do, by the way, with my books. I either keep them if they're really special to me and I love them, and you know, or they're a part of a series that I collect, I'll keep them. If they're a book that I've, you know, not really enjoyed that much, clearly I'm going to put on eBay. But if they're a book that like I've enjoyed, but I probably wouldn't reread because I kind of know what happens, yeah, I just put them on eBay. You know, good condition. I try and keep all my books in good condition as I read them. So that's what I do. And then obviously from the money I make from the sales, I get more money for more books. So it's kind of like a nice circle, really. And other people obviously get to read the books at a nice kind of bargain, cheaper price. Anyhow, so that, I think, is that. I hope you enjoyed watching. I'm sorry I've rambled for a while, but I did know this was going to be a longer video because it was, you know, trying to do everything in one. But yeah, please, as I say, comment me down below any bookish stuff you want to talk about, or if you've got any book recommendations. I love that kind of thing. And hopefully next year will be another good reading year, and I'll get through not only these new books, but books that I've got, you know, in my bedroom. And oh, there's like books on the bookcase, book piles next to the bookcase. Like, look, I admit I have got a bit of a problem, a lot of a problem. But as I always say to everyone else, like, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs. My addiction is books. Like, it's not really a bad addiction. And to be fair, I am a big reader. I do kind of get through them. I don't just buy them and just leave them sitting there. I do read them. But my problem is that, you know, as I say, there's been a lot that I've not read and they're just kind of sitting on the bookcase picking up dust. That is not good. So I think this year coming, I want to make sure I read, even if it's just once a month, a book from my bookcases that I've not read, that have been sitting there like 2-3 years or whatever, because I don't know, I kind of feel sad that they're just stuck there and they feel unwanted and that. And also I just, you know, I need to make the space so the piles can go down, because otherwise me and Nathan keep falling over the piles of books. Oh my. But anyway, hope you've enjoyed watching. Don't forget, leave a big thumbs up on this video, leave a comment, share this video out on your community tabs, social media. Really helps me, helps the channel. Subscribe, obviously, and check out my other channel as well, Minxlaw123 ASMR. The link's down below for that. I do videos to help people relax, sleep, chill, get tingles, that kind of stuff. So like sensory, calming stuff. Anyway, so check that out. All my links for social media down below as well, for Twitter, Instagram, Goodreads and TikTok. And there we go, an end of year bookish video. Of course, next year, book video related wise, there'll be my normal monthly reading wrap ups. I love doing those. And, you know, obviously when I do get new books, it'll be new book hauls. The Illumicrate unboxings will be every month. And I hope you'll enjoy those. I love doing that. It was so fun. So I'm looking forward to next month's. But I think the next month's theme is Journey's End or something, like traveling kind of thing. So yeah, there'll be stuff like that. And, you know, if you've got any other ideas that you'd like me to do book related in videos, let me know, because I'm up for anything. Well, not literally. Anyway, right, I'm going to go and stop rambling. See you later, everyone. Peace out and happy reading. Bye-bye.